So here we are. Today is my 1 year Armyversary, and usually I do some cringy edits of me and Hobie because he was my first bias. And you know, without Hobie, I wouldn't be here where I am today. So at 11/11/2017, 2:16 a.m., I stumbled upon a video of Hobie and Jungkook doing the microwave. And what's so funny is because at that time I had a friend who liked BTS, and me being who I was a year ago was like, oh my god, mainstream, get off of my timeline. So I muted everything I could think of that was related to BTS. Yoongi, Suga, Jimin, R'*P'*N**R. You know, I had everything muted. But since that didn't have anybody's name and she retweeted it, it showed up on my timeline. So because of that, I am here. And you know, last year I was in such a bad place. Such a bad place. Yes, I was. I know. I wasn't talking to my real mother. I didn't have a job. I didn't have a car. I wasn't in school. And, you know, I was very suicidal. I actually tried killing myself, but I got very minorly hooked on some hard drugs. I won't go into it, but it was really scary. And everybody always says you find BTS at a point in your life when you need them the most. And I believe that is absolutely the case for me personally, because I was in such a bad place. I don't even know how to, make it sound more serious than it is, but it was so bad. So when I found BTS, it was like my world got flipped, because I found a passion again. I found someone I could trust, I could confide into, I could listen to and help me cheer me up. I am not a music person at all. Yeah, drag me, I don't care. I prefer movies just because, I don't know, I've just always liked movies more. And so I was really shocked because I was like, wow, I like a lot of their songs. And then I'm like, dude, I like all of their songs. And so I just looked into them, which I haven't had a hyperfixation since, God, 2009 with Glee. Yeah. So I haven't had something I could pour myself into in such a long time. So with BTS, their whole message is to love yourself. And so my entire life I have loved myself, but for the very wrong reasons. I loved myself because I felt like nobody else would. And when I met BTS, it's just, whoa. Something about them in particular makes me feel like I'm important, like what I say matters, like I'm valid, like I have a purpose on this earth. And it's so phenomenal to me because, you know, I've been into other bands before, not as hardcore as BTS, but I've been into bands before, and it's just something about BTS and their relationship with their fans that's so other level, because I've never met them. They don't know I exist. They don't know anything about me, but still I feel like they care about me. If perchance I did meet them they wouldn't like shoo me away. They wouldn't like, you know, they probably can't talk to you because of managers or whatever, but just the presence and aura wouldn't make me feel like I'm not supposed to be there. Because they welcome everybody, anybody. It's so different and I love it. And that's why my connection with them is very lifelong. I don't want to say lifelong, but I'm a year into this. And my hyperfixations usually don't last this long unless I'm really into it. And so I'm so invested in them, it's like insane. So BTS has also helped me very they're very helpful with a lot of things. Like self-esteem, body issues, self-worth. Like, I have borderline personality disorder. Actually, I have cluster B features because my asshole of a psychiatrist didn't want to diagnose me because I didn't have insurance. Anyway, that's another story. So, I was generalized with cluster B personality disorder with cluster B features. And that's borderline, histrionic, antisocial, and narcissistic. I have symptoms of all of those. But I always say I have borderline just because it's like the most common and it's like the easiest to like explain to someone else. And with my borderline, I was very, very unbearable to be around. And with BTS, I learned to reflect a lot on myself. And I have changed so much. I don't get as angry as much as I used to. Only times I cry is whenever I'm frustrated or I see a really cute picture of Hobie and June. I used to be terrible in relationships because that's one of the biggest like flaws in a person with borderline personality disorder. So I'm still working on that one because I do split a lot, but I have to remind myself, hey, you're in a bad state of mind right now, you don't mean this, you just have to calm down, log off, spend some time by yourself, come back tomorrow, you'll still like your friends. So before I would just, whatever, I don't care about you, it's whatever. Anyway, so they've helped me kind of like get my emotions in check, only because I know they're very, very compassionate and kind and thoughtful and considerate. So I'm like, they're really out here trying to make people become better people. And so I felt like as an army, I should try and reflect that. So I've been trying to work on myself and all of that. So I've gotten a lot better at it. And, you know, they've also helped me become more comfortable with who I am and meet people who are more like-minded. Before I started, before I became an army, I was following 20 people on Twitter. 20 people. And pretty sure only 3 of them were my friends. And the rest were just other accounts that I followed. So I never knew what it was like to find people who were trans, who were other sexualities, who were many identities, many other races. Like, yes, I am Black Lives Matter. I am also very vocal on it with my family. I can't change who they are, and I hate it. But every time they make a mistake, I let them know. Mood. Anyway, so I have met more people who are like-minded. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. who are like-minded. And I honestly feel like if it weren't for BTS, I wouldn't, because I have felt more comfortable exploring my own sexuality and my own identity. Kill you. So, and come here. Jump on. Jump on. Oh, you're so handsome. So beautiful. So handsome. So, yeah, I can't, come out to my parents as my true identity, but they do know I am bisexual. So they at least know I am not a heterosexual. So that's one win for the gays. So all I know is if it weren't for BTS, I wouldn't have met the most amazing friends that I have right now, who are very supportive. They're very caring, compassionate also. They're very understanding. And before, I had so many toxic people in my life who were not very patient and understanding, but now I feel comfortable with the people I'm around. And that's the first time in my life. I'm 21 years old, so thank you, BTS. And, they always say, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. And I've never had something I've wanted to do ever in my entire life. Like, I want to do everything, but I also don't have enough, passion for it to seek a career out of it. So I am also very, one day I'll change, hopefully. The more I stay into BTS, I will become more comfortable in making mistakes. But if I'm not immediately an expert at it, I don't even try. Or if I try something and somebody else is already an expert, I just feel like they're being condescending when they're not. So I just don't do anything. But there's so many things I want to try and learn that one day I will, when I get over my irrational fear of being a failure. So I did, however, one night in my endless insomnia, started thinking about what I did like. Because years ago, even last year, like my entire life, I would see something I liked, but I didn't like it enough. Or I didn't have things that I liked. I was very indifferent, very, didn't really have a positive or negative take on things, so I never really felt drawn to anything. But as I was sitting there in my insomniac state, I was thinking, what do I like? So I was starting to think of the things that I did like, and I was like, wow, I do have some things that I like. And so that was a very good, turning point for me. And so I was like, wow, if it wasn't for BTS, I wouldn't have sat there looking at Hobie on my TV screen and, listening to the best album ever, Tear. Yeah, I said it. Actually, Tear's not even my favorite album. It's just a fact that it is. It's just not my favorite. I was like, okay, BTS, Paradise especially, has, helped me, because the whole message of that is, if you don't have a plan, it's okay. But then I'm like, why don't I have a plan? So anyway, I was like, okay, BTS has really helped me a lot, and I've tried to explore my interests and whatever, and so they've helped me figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And so I want to become a film director, and I want to make movies. I told my dad, and he was like, oh, you want to be a film critic? And I'm like, in a way, but I actually want to make my own movies, because I want to be the first non-binary person to make a movie. And in my films, I want representation for everybody. I want black people, I want people of color, I want, you know, fat people as lead roles and not the comic relief. I want disabled people. I want people who aren't, you know, conventionally attractive, because, you know what? People are everywhere in the world. Everybody doesn't have to be, you know, society's standards of beautiful. And everybody deserves, you know, love and friendship. So, you know, I want people who are all types of identities. I want people who are all types of sexualities. I want people of, you know, all kinds of heritages, you know. So I'm not afraid to show those people in movies. And I want to become successful so we can normalize things like that. So you can see somebody on the screen and be like, hey, they're just like me, and you can feel like you matter, because Hollywood is a very sick way of showing people on the screen, because everyone is always so thin, or everyone is like bulked up to here with, you know, muscles, and, you know, not everybody's like that. So I want to normalize movies but still make good movies. And so I want to go back to school for this. And I'm not going to say BTS, you know, is the reason I found a passion in life, but BTS is the reason I found a passion in life. So I just could not be more thankful for BTS. I hope to be here forever. Honestly surprised I haven't cried while talking about this, because they do mean so much to me. Like, great, now I'm going to start crying. But they do mean the absolute world to me, and I would do anything for them. I just want to see them be happy and successful for the rest of their lives, you know. So you don't have to watch this if you made it this far. Congratulations. But other than that, I'm so proud to be an Army. And, you know, sometimes Army be whack as fuck, but, you know, not every family is perfect, so I love my family. I don't know, BTS loves us, so I'm proud to be here, and I hope to stay here for a long time, and I love BTS, so peace up, Baytown down.